All right, so good day, everyone. I am Lukman Abdel Fattah from AgroNucleus, and currently I'm at the Faculty of Agriculture of Bafemi Awolowo University, where I'll be speaking with some Part 4 students who just finished with an exam. And recently they concluded their farm year, which is their practical at the OAU Teaching and Research Farm. So join us as we explore and hear from them their experience and what they feel about agriculture.
Miracle Oluolu.
Miracle Ololo.
Aulola Moyelu Akistana,
Awolola Moyelo, what
Bachelor Student,
department?
Agricultural Economics.
Agricultural
My
economics.
name is Oluwadaminola Ayotekai, and I'm currently furthering my studies in soil science at Bafemi University, Faculty of Agriculture. Currently, I'm also the regional coordinator for White Up Global.
Okay, I'm Olajustin Tokwe Daniel. I'm a 400 level student from the Department of Agricultural Economics.
Means
Yes.
after tomorrow's exam, we've been part 5.
By God's grace, thank you.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. How has been the experience so far?
It's been a lot. A roller coaster of emotions.
Roller coaster
Sometimes
emotions.
you'll be like excited, then sometimes you feel really downcast. It's just a lot.
Did you choose
Stress.
agriculture?
No, I did not.
What did you choose?
I chose medicine.
Why didn't you still try and cross to medicine?
No, I like it here.
Why did you like it? Were you
Yeah.
convinced or what?
I was in part one, and then also dreams change.
Dreams
Find new
change.
interest, and then you focus on them.
And recently, you guys concluded your internship. That is your farm year
Farm year.
for Obafemi Awolowo University. I would love to hear from you, your experience on farm. What you guys do. Is it something you can actually encourage? And where are the aspects you feel they should improve?
Okay. Generally, the purpose of the internship is actually to expose us to the world of agriculture and what we need to know practically.
To the
But
camera.
if there's one more thing that I feel can be improved as far as the farm is concerned, is to actually inculcate modern agriculture. Because
Okay.
most of the things we learn from the farm are not really useful in the modern world, in this civilized world. With the way things are going in the world today, I was expecting more. I was expecting more than what we got from the farm. But generally, if I will advise anybody that is interested in agriculture, I'll tell the person to go ahead, because we really need more hands on deck as far as agriculture is concerned. And agriculture is actually the way forward.
Okay. You say you're a student of soil science.
Yes.
Did you choose soil science? What did you choose?
I chose medicine.
What? But you found yourself
Yeah,
in soil
they
science.
threw me soil science.
They threw you. But why didn't you now cross back?
I tried.
But
Like I
you
think
didn't-
up to my part 3, I was still trying Jambo.
Are you serious?
OAU did not.
It means you wrote like 2 more jams.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Amazing. Have you now started developing interest in agriculture?
No.
After spending more than almost 5 years on campus, you still not.
Yes.
Oh. Anyways, okay. Did you choose agric economics?
Yeah, I chose Agricultural Economics.
Were you told about the course before you chose it, or you just felt like, no, let me just choose agric economics?
Actually, I did a research before I gained admission.
Okay.
So before I chose Agricultural Economics, and I was someone who, before I gained admission, I was agriculturally inclined. I loved agriculture, and looking at the field of different field itself, I was like, which one do I want to go for? And someone who is good with calculation and finance itself, I felt okay, let me just go for agricultural economics.
Okay, amazing. To ask you, are you someone that is really interested in agriculture? Have you been practicing agriculture, and which aspect of agriculture are you interested in?
All right. Let me start with when I was younger, my family had a farm. We had a farm, so we were planting cassava then, and we processed cassava to pupuru, to gari, fufu, and the likes. So I've been interested in agriculture right from time. In fact, personally, one of my biggest dreams is to have a standard farm, a modernized farm. Now, what's the other question? The follow-up question.
Have you been practicing?
Yes, I've been practicing agriculture, and currently I'm even working with some of my classmates starting a farm on campus. Yeah.
Okay, wow,
So we already got
amazing.
the land. We've tilled it. We've done the necessary things. The next phase we are going into now is planting of golden melon.
Wow,
So we are trying to plant golden melon currently. So I'm currently into agriculture actively.
Which aspect of agriculture really interests you the most?
The economics aspect, agricultural economics. Yeah,
Economics
I really love it.
aspect.
Yes, and
Okay.
then on farm or something, the livestock aspect. I
Okay,
love it.
livestock aspect. Okay, animal science.
Yeah.
You spent almost a year on farm
Yes.
in this your internship. What can you say about the internship? Is it encouraging? What are the challenges you faced on that farm? And what is an advice you can actually give to them to improve more?
There's a lot of advice I can give, but okay, let me just say the farm is like is is very versatile, which is
Okay.
very good. Though there's they have shortage of some animals, some livestock, like they don't have a turkey unit or
Okay.
whatever. Yes, so I feel like students might be deficient in knowledge in that area. And what else? The supervisors, they are very knowledgeable. They are very vast. I give that to them. But the areas I feel they can improve is agriculture has gone far beyond what we are doing here. There's
Wow.
a lot of innovations, tech, AI, a lot of things that they can just do to be better.
PLF.
Yes, when you get to the swine unit, for instance, they don't even have a source of water, and that's just like terrible. If they don't even have a source of water, then how can they have automated feeding systems or automated drinking systems? So they don't have that.
Um, is it that you just don't like agriculture, or there is
Mhm.
something that makes you not develop that interest?
It's not like I don't like agriculture actually. I think growing up self, my mom does poultry farming
Okay.
just within the house. I will prepare for Christmas, the kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I tried doing COVID, I was always the one handling it from day old to maturity and everything. But I think agriculture was never my interest. I think like right from growing up, the only interest I ever had was that okay, if perhaps I'll find myself in the agriculture field. I just want to be someone that invests
You want to
into
come and
agriculture.
invest in ag
Just want to
because you know there is
invest.
gold in agriculture.
Yes.
Well, anyways, everyone can actually not do agriculture. Now, on an average, what percentage of your course mates do you think are interested in agriculture?
On an average, all I'll say 30 to 40%.
30 to 40. Which
Mm.
means we have over 60% that are not interested in agriculture.
I won't say not interested. I'll just say indifferent about it.
Okay, indifferent.
So,
Um, for someone who has spent almost 5 years on campus and have still not decided if they are going to like practice agriculture, or have still not shown that interest in agriculture, what do you think is the cause? Is it that the system is actually not really encouraging, or they don't just see the beauty in agriculture?
okay. One thing about that is there's this focus on tech being more productive now. Everyone wants to go to tech. It's just like the fast way to make money these days.
Yes,
And
yes.
I feel what should be done now, or what the system should do now, is to look for practical ways in which they should bring they should a way of enticing people. They should see the benefits. It should not
Okay,
be the traditional way of cutlass and hoe.
okay.
Even now, we only have not I would say we don't really have a lot of companies that practice in that large scale itself, and students don't really have access to those skills, those big enterprise like that. Students don't really have direct contact with them.
Contact.
And another issue with why people are not actually interested in practicing agriculture is the issue of the security in the land, whereby
Okay, okay.
herdsmen go to various farm and just go there to go and destroy farm, and the government won't really do anything
Anything
about it.
about it.
So it's part of the issues. People feel like, well, after I finish school, will I just go and venture into agriculture, and one day I'll wake up and
See, everything is
everything is
destroyed.
destroyed and nothing will be done about it. So those are some of the reasons I feel the system can actually work on to and make agricultural better and entice more people to agriculture.
Agriculture.
Agriculture should be more of it should it should entice at this stage in Nigeria, it should entice youth, and there should be a way people can make money in agriculture, and they know that this is the way, though it might be difficult, but they should know it is practical and it is something that is achievable.
Amazing. Based on my research, my engagement with agric students, I realized that most of the agric students are given agriculture and they are not really interested. And to even get to like final year students, we still have a large percentage of them that are still not interested in agriculture. Where do you think the problem lies? Is it that the educational system is not encouraging them? the government, or they see agriculture as something they can't actually practice. And if you are to advise, for you that already sees the light in agriculture, what do you think they can do to show more interest in agriculture?
All right. Let me start with the matter of interest, because
Okay.
most of the guys in in agriculture right now, as far as this school is concerned, they were not, they didn't want to study agriculture in the beginning. Maybe they picked courses like medicine, pharmacy, and the likes. Now, I think the primary problem, the foundational problem, is actually exposure.
Exposure.
Exposure. Now, people were not exposed enough to the world of agriculture. When they hear agriculture, what comes to their mind is going to farm, using cutlass, using hoes. They don't really realize that the industry is so large. We have the middlemen, there's a lot of things in agriculture that people don't really understand. So I think the major problem is exposure. Now, if someone really wants to see the light in agriculture, the best thing is to expose yourself to more information about
Expose
agriculture. Yeah.
yourself to
Expose
more
yourself to more information
information.
about agriculture, because at the end of the day, when you expose yourself, you will realize that what you feel is better is not what is actually good. Like once you expose yourself, what you think you really want to do, maybe you wanted to study medicine and the likes, but when you expose yourself to the world of agriculture, you really see that there is more to agriculture than what you think you know.
Which means you can't give what you don't have.
Exactly, you can't give what you don't have, and knowledge is power. So what you don't know, you can't actually implement or work on anything you don't know. You need to have the knowledge first, then you can now make a decision on, okay, this is what I really want to do. So the reason most people are not going into agriculture is because they are indecisive, because they are not exposed.
Wow.
They are not
I think
exposed.
the summary I'm able to get from what you just said is information. It
Information.
means for them to be able to participate more in agriculture, which is actually very, very broad, they need to be accessible to the right information. Thank you.
Exactly.
Which means when we're talking about digitalized farming, we
Yeah.
are far behind at the OAU Teaching
Teaching and
and
research
Research
farm,
Farm.
yes, very
So,
familiar.
what do you think is the solution to this? Because if they continue this way,
Yeah.
our students are going to be restricted to some kind of information which might not meet the
Yes.
standard outside there. So, what do you
Yeah.
think they can do?
Everything just boils down to money. More funds, more funds, more funds. Maybe from the government. The government can do more to actually better the federal universities. Maybe alumni bodies as well. It's just money at the end of the day.
Okay,
Funds.
to round up, what do you think of the management on that farm? Because I engaged some of your colleagues and they
Yeah.
complained bitterly about the management. What can you say about the management?
I feel they are just doing their best, but they can improve. They
They
can do
can
better. They can
improve.
treat us like adults. They can treat us like humans and not just treat us like children or just people that they can just boss around unfairly. Yeah, that's just
Okay,
it.
the last question. You're going to grow and you eventually have children. Can you
Yeah,
encourage your children to practice agriculture or to come study
definitely,
agriculture? Wow,
definitely,
amazing.
but not in OAU.
That's deep. For someone that is not really interested in agriculture and you've spent like 4 sessions already, what do you think the system is actually doing? Talking about the academics that is not really encouraging, that I feel they should fix to encourage more students to practice agriculture.
Okay. So I think based on my experience so far in the past 5 years, everything is basically theory. Like most of it is theory actually. So and especially experience of family, I mean kind of like see okay, there are different aspects of agriculture. I think one time we went to poultry farming and realized that even if you don't go to poultry farming, there's another aspect called debaking. So you can just focus on those debaking
Hmm.
poultry, that kind of thing. So I think it would be more helpful if the agriculture sector is very practical, such that
Practice.
you don't just, it's not that you have to go to farm, just plant. You can let them know that there are other aspects aside just farming. For example, poultry, there are other aspects like debaking, feathering, stuff like that. So when we experiment into the different aspects of agriculture, we get to see that okay, there's actually diverse aspects of agriculture.
This is actually a message to the system. Expose agric students to more of a practical, because theory alone cannot do it. Okay, what if you eventually have the opportunity to discuss with, let's say, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security? What advice will you give to him to encourage youth to practice? You were mentioning something like making it enticing to them. So, what advice can you give?
Okay, advice that I'll give to the Minister of Agriculture is actually for we that we are students now, when we go to our farm, I'll use that as an example. When we started our farm, we were curious to see things, but by the time we explored everything within 4 or 5 weeks, we got tired. We wanted more. We wanted to see more, and there were things that we can still see on the farm, like the prices of soilless farm is something we can have on campuses too, but that we don't have. There are many things like value chain addition. So those are the things that if students can be open to that opportunities itself, it will give them ways that okay, when I finish school, what I want to do is okay, I want to focus on value chain of probably only pig, value chain of maybe only chicken, value chain of whatever, maybe cow itself. So it depends. So if students if they are properly
If they have
open
this access
access
to
to all these opportunities, it will help them a lot. And two is also access to fund itself. If there can be a way that the government can make it easy for students to have access to fund to practice, and there will be a way they return it maybe after a number of years, there will be a way they return that it won't be a burden to them, and it will actually make it easy for them to take the loan, build something, and return back in their convenience itself too.
Yeah, so Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, this message is to you. I know you're actually trying, but let's get this opportunity to the reach of young agripreneurs and students of agriculture. Let's say you can actually create a scheme of providing loan to students who wants to like practice in a way that it won't be like a burden, so that they can be encouraged to practice. And I'm very sure by the time they practice, at large, there is going to be a food security for the country. Thank you so much.